but I wanted to live an adventure. An adventure, not always looking at adventure in a TV set and say, wow, they're living something great. I want to do something like that.
I came away from the trail knowing that my life had changed and that I would never be the person that I was. I would be the person I should have been.
Why I wanted to do it after I made the decision was, I think just the idea of 6 months of doing whatever the hell I felt like was pretty tempting.
Out on the trail, like, I became my ideal self. And I think a lot of people experience that. That, amongst all, was the best.
And before I started long distance hiking, I lived in a nice little closet apartment in a very fashionable part of Boston. And I worked about 80 hours a week to pay for the apartment that I wasn't spending any time in because I was too busy working to pay for the apartment and the lifestyle that I wasn't spending any time in. And I did that for 7 years. And then before I realized, you know, this is really screwed up. And that's when I put all my neckties in the bag and, you know, never looked back.
Every day, millions of people get in their cars, drive to work, and time passes by. The daily routine is assumed by most people as a permanent necessity, and we partake in this continual pattern of living as we enjoy the rewards that this modern world affords us, many conveniences, distractions, and alternatives. Every year, people make conscious choices to experience new ways of living. Among these people are the 2,000 aspiring thru-hikers, who take a hiatus from the real world to attempt to hike the Appalachian mountain range from Georgia to Maine. This journey forces them to look past the distractions of modern life and seek fulfillment through simple pleasures and community. This is their story.
When I first even heard about the AT was in 2000. I was doing a presidential traverse with this group, and we were hiking across, and every day I met awesome people that were hiking the trail, thru-hikers.
Years later, when I was a teacher, I went hiking in Georgia, and it just happened to be near the beginning of the Appalachian Trail. Our path crossed the AT, and we met these people, a lot of people who were on like day 3 or day 2. And I was sort of like, you're doing what? And you're going where? And it was sort of like, I was sort of taking it all in and realizing what these people were doing.
I wanted to live an adventure. An adventure, not always looking at adventure in a TV set and say, wow, they're living something great. I want to do something like that.
Basically what made me do the trail was it was a dream of mine. Ever since I was 13, I wanted to do it.
The biggest thing probably was that I'd been working at the same job for 7 years and decided I needed to do something, and it was a perfect opportunity to do something kind of out of my head, I guess, something out of my character.
I had 20-something years ago done a 3-week backpacking trip in Colorado, and I loved it. And I always wanted to do something like that again, and time or money or family or kids or job just never was able to take that much time off at one block. I have 2 teenage kids, and they both had decided to go try and live with their dad for a while. And so instead of feeling sorry for myself, I decided to take some time off. I had a job that was an okay job, but it was not something I was really attached to. So I decided to rent my house out for a year and go hike, and I did. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
I had known about it for years, like even back into the Boy Scouts and everything, so it always kind of been in the back of my mind as a cool thing to do. And then after working for a couple of years, you know, it was still in the back of my mind, and got to a point where I said, if I don't do it now, I'll probably never do it, so I better do it.
I was just tired of always thinking about doing it, so I just knew that I had to do it just so I wouldn't have to think about that anymore.
I love hiking and I love people, and I thought it would be a great way to meet a lot of really wonderful people and get out and do something I love with other people that love to do the same.
And the pull to go on the trail was I needed to spend time in reflection and try to understand whether my life up until then had been fruitful.
I didn't really have any plans on what I wanted to do, and I was like, well, I could just walk. I knew someone that did it. I was like, well, I'll just walk for a while. I've been working really hard, and I just want to go for a walk and like sleep in the woods and like just chill the fuck out, you know. Spend some time on my own. I was thinking.
I don't think that much has changed. It's just I realized what's more important. I think I always did realize what was more important, which was family and friends and experiences and things. Things that you can't put a finger on, things you can't grasp. I think that's what I've gained the most.
I played slash and burn with my life, and I gave almost everything I owned away or threw it out or got rid of it somehow. And, you know, I'm back off the trail now, and it's almost a year since I've been done and living in a tiny apartment, and I don't feel the need to own all of that stuff anymore. It feels good.
It was just really important to get back to nature and to stay there and not to forget it. But I did learn while I was there.
I know I can get by with a lot less than I thought I could. For the first time, I really set a huge goal, and I actually achieved it.
It makes you realize like the possibilities of what you can do. I mean, not even like physically, but just as far as like opening your mind and saying, well, you know, if I can walk away from society and do the Appalachian Trail for 5 or 6 or 7 months or whatever, you know, I can do whatever I want.
Well, the trail didn't change me that much because it's been years, long years that I'm working on myself and trying to find my way and finding myself. So it changes me for the material side. I need less than I think that I have. I can manage easily without and with.
It showed me that I could do a whole lot more than I initially thought, and push my envelope. Like I used to have think that I could do things in this perspective, and now it's so much bigger and I could even get bigger the more and more stuff, and the more and more I push it.
I learned that there's more to life than just working. There's more to life than just existing, and I really found a need to explore other aspects of life that I never even thought about.
You have to give yourself up to the trail. There's a lot of people in real life that they really have to be in control of everything, of every moment in their lives, and have a plan for everything. But the beauty of the trail is, you know, you don't know where you're going to spend the night. You know, you just go. You just have to go with the flow and take and roll with everything as it happens to you.
It's like on the trail. When you're there, you have to enjoy what's the moment brings you.
The people I hiked with last year were the highlight of my trip. I mean, I don't think I would have made it, you know, just hiking 2,000 miles by myself, or even with a tenth the number of people, if I hadn't been able to meet all these people along the way. That's what kept me going, is just, you know, meeting new people, talking with them, hiking with them.
And it shows that when people are in a situation when it's tough and they really have to pull together, they can and they do. And it's a really beautiful reaffirmation of my beliefs of community and how a faith in humankind and a stronger link of brotherhood and sisterhood between us that we can, you know, really sort of just revel in.
I didn't feel like I was in a rut, and I didn't realize really how much of a rut that most people were in until I got out here and started hiking. And people were just so good, and strangers that would give us a ride or have apples, or it was just really restored my faith in humankind, and that was a really neat thing to take away from it.
I was amazed by the trail magic and the trail angels and the people around the trail, and how much they give to the hikers and how much they go out of their way to help the hikers. It just blew my mind. It kind of restored my faith in humanity, if you will.
By far my favorite part of the trail is all the people I met and still keeping in touch with them. And
when I first came out here, I thought I was just going to be like a solitary experience, but it ended up being very social, and you end up meeting so many people and talk, you know, so many different types of people and all their experiences and where they're coming from, why they wanted to be on the trail.
For the most part, people are just under a lot less pressure on the trail. I think the pressure and stress of everyday life tends to bring out some of the worst in people. People don't get along as well outside because they have a lot on their mind, a lot to worry about, and on the trail, you really don't. I mean, where am I going to stay tonight, you know, and you know, where am I going to get my next shower? But that's about it. So people tend to, after the first, you know, week or so, they just relax and enjoy each other's company.
The number one trail experience wasn't even the nature for me, which I expected when I was first going out, but it was definitely the people I met. That was an awesome experience.
coming out here, you know, you have to live this way. You smell, you know, you're hungry all the time, you know, you want clean clothes, you know, oh my God, it's raining again, you know, all this stuff. You know, this was just the way you lived. It's an amazing way to live.
So I've met hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that have professed or that have told me this is always something that I want to do, has been a great dream of mine. Well, the reality, of course, is that the vast majority of them don't do it. I've also met hundreds, if not thousands, of people that actually have done it. Now, here's the really neat statistic. I am yet to have met one man or woman that spent a significant amount of time on the trail and regretted going. That's a very telling statistic. It changes your life.
I gave up my house, my apartment. I gave up all my furniture. I packed all my stuff up. I gave up my job. I basically have spent every dime I had at that point in time to now. I'm in debt, but it was worth it, more than worth it. It was an amazing experience. I would wish this on anybody. Great adventure.
At the end of the day, it's a very, very personal thing, and when I think about the trail, it's still the best experience of my life, and I hope there'll be more in the future.
One more time, must you cross the line to the outside of the blue? Never look in the darkness for the answers that you call the truth, but you can't find what isn't there in the Republicrat lair, 'cause they've hidden it all away. Never thought to evolve, always reaching for the revolver. Never thought you should grow. Never thought there was nothing that you didn't know.